Anyone who's wise understands God to be the source of everything. Not just the source of things, but the source of all love. And if the world needs anything at all, it is love.
Namaste, world raisers. Sabine and Roger here. Let's watch What is God, Who is God, and Why is God?
Awesome. Gaur Gopal Das. Let's find out what he's got to say.
In the 10th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, verse number 8, Lord Krishna explains, Aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattah sarvam pravartate. He explains how he is the source of everything that exists. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. Everything comes from me. Lord Krishna very categorically, in a very uncompromising way, explains that he is the source of everything that exists, both material and spiritual, and explains himself to be the creator of all that exists. Very often we find people coming and asking, what is the definition of God? It's a very common thing when people come and ask, what is the definition of God? And I've heard a lot of people talking about the definition of God. Some will say God is light. And I don't know whether it's sunlight, moonlight, neon light, halogen light, floodlight. Some will say God is love. And I don't know whether it's the love between a boyfriend and a girlfriend, the love between a mother and a child, the love between a husband and a wife. Which love is he? Some will say God is nothing. And yet others will say God is something. There'll be others who say that God is anything. And some would opine by saying that God is everything. Something, nothing, everything, anything. Good heavens. So much confusion and so much lack of clarity in what is God. And unless one knows what is God, there is no question of serving Him. Firstly, only when one knows who is God, what is God, is there a possibility of even taking the opportunity to connect to Him, to love Him, and to serve Him. And therefore, a lot of people, when they come and ask me, what is the definition of God? I always try to see what it is. Of course, there are many funny definitions that people give, like they say, what is the definition of tears? Tears is the feminine hydraulic power, which defeats masculine willpower. They can say, there are many funny definitions which people can give about tears. Say, what is a banker? What is the definition of a father? A father is a free banker provided by nature. They say. Like a teacher came to a classroom and asked one student, so what is your favorite book? The student said, my father's checkbook. It's a favorite book, father's checkbook. So it's pretty common that, you can have people think all kinds of definitions. What's the definition of a school? A school is a place where father pays and son plays. So I always wonder, what is the definition of God? You see? And people can have a variety of ideas about it. Like in the United States, they have on the dollar bill, in God we trust. And once upon a time that God meant G for generator, O for operator, and D for destroyer. The generator, the operator, the destroyer of everything is God, G-O-D, God. And now in a very political sense, sometimes some people say, in God we trust means in gas, oil, defense we trust. That's G-O-D, God. I always wonder, what is the definition of God? Aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattah sarvam pravartate. God means He who is the supreme source of everything that exists. He has created it all. Therefore He is the proprietor of it all. And is the controller of it all. He is therefore called God. The wise, Buddha. Buddha means the wise. The wise understand God to be so. Knowing God to be the source of everything, the creator of everything, knowing God to be the source of all love, not just things, they want to serve God. and experience His love. Whereas those who do not take to that kind of wisdom think that a Big Bang is the source of the creation. And they think that human beings have come out of a monkey. You know, a child once came and asked his father, Papa, where do we all come from? The father said, Beta, human beings, we all come from monkeys, you know, an ape. That's our theory. So he went to the mother, he was not convinced. So he went to the mother and asked the mother, Mama, where do we come from? The mother said, Beta, we all come from God. So now the child was confused. He said to the mother, Mama, Papa says that we come from monkey. You say we come from God. Where do we actually come from? The mother said, both are right, Beta. His side comes from monkeys. My side comes from God. You know? My goodness. You know something? Anyone who's wise understands God to be the source of everything. Not just the source of things, but the source of all love. And if the world needs anything at all, it is love.
God, the source of all.
Source of all love and everything. Yeah, so love that. So yeah, we're getting to know more about Gaur Gopal Das. So I'm pretty sure he's a Krishna devotee now, which is great. Yeah, so of course his depiction and belief of God is Krishna as the absolute.
Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah.
So yeah, and then so Krishna's teachings, the Bhagavad Gita, and I have read it and can't really argue with it. It's, yeah, if God did appear on earth and spoke some words, yeah, what is in there is pretty much, in my mind, being a spiritual seeker for years now, is, what God would say, right? So, yeah, you know, being the source of absolutely everything, right? And that's not to say that other people who have a depiction of God would be wrong in their depiction, because, you know, Krishna also says that, you know, by whatever belief system and whatever name, you know, if they're sincere in their heart and devoted to the truth and to God, by whatever conceptualization, you know, it's still valid, because being, you know, all-powerful, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, you know, beyond all form, but still can be contained as form, you know, it can be anything, right? So people who believe in Shiva as God, yeah, that's also valid. People who believe in Allah as God is also valid. So there's no, it's dependent upon the, you know, the devotion and the devotee's longing and heart, and, you know, understanding that, okay, there is one source. You know, human minds with language, different languages in the world, different cultures and customs. Of course, there's going to be different depictions that pop up. And then, but the fundamental truth is, you know, it's beyond. So understanding that there's one source and there are many paths, and then we can be that in the world. We can bring it, because how does God shine his love into the world? Well, through us, right? So it's really the only way, right? It's human beings. And then you see the more realized beings, yeah, they're not bickering about whose God is better, right? A true realized being, like the enlightened ones, yeah, they would get along great, right?
Best friends.
Because, yeah, they would know, right? And they would be, you know, just compassion and love and understanding and wisdom. So thank you so much for joining us. If you like this video as much as we did, please hit that like button. Remember to subscribe. It really, really helps the channel. Let us know what you think down in the comments. And if you're a Krishna devotee, maybe leave some peacocks down in the comments. Or if you're a channel member, just leave the Krishna emoji. And remember, raise yourself.
And raise the beautiful world. Hare Krishna, everyone. And a very special thank you to all our members. We love you.
Peace.